And also welcome to the desk our good friend Brent Roske, because It is time for Roske on Politics. Yes. And you came with a guest, Mr. Roske.
So what do I do here for you folks?
You give,
what do
and
I
then
do
you
here
give
for
some more.
What I try to do every week is bring the national scene home to Iowa. So this morning, early, it's about 3:45 in the morning, and I'm reading Politico's playbook, and I see the video out of Iowa from Ankeny, and it's a video with Senator Marco Rubio. And I'm like, oh, I've seen it, da-da-da. But something is sticking in the back of my brain, like, no, there's a connection here you haven't seen. So I go to my Twitter feed, and I see the CNN story, and it says the video out of Iowa, and it's Marco Rubio throwing a football. And I'm like, why do I recognize the person sitting next to him? It's because it's State Senator Jack Whitford, and he's here with us this morning. So
good morning.
Glad to be here.
This has been a fun sort of thing. Now, people say, how do you break out of the pack with 23 candidates? Something like this happens. Unscripted, good-natured, good stuff.
Quirky.
Senator Whitford, why don't you tell us about the day and what happened?
Well, it was just a family-friendly event that we planned in Ankeny. We knew Senator Rubio was going to bring his family to Iowa for the first time, and so we wanted just something fun in the park. He has 4 young kids, and we were just at the park playing. And we had the kids line up, and Senator Rubio was throwing them footballs. And at the time, it hit him in the head. No one really thought of it. I mean, that happens all the time. I'm a dad. I play catch my whole life. People get hit in the head. No one thought of it at the time, but then it went viral and became a big story.
Rachel, do you have the clip we want to show real quick?
People are wondering what we're talking about in case they missed it.
And I mean, I'm not talking about just local news. This has been everywhere.
Really?
Yeah.
Because we've heard a lot about it here because it happened.
Yeah, it was
here, but
jumped all over this yesterday afternoon was Fox News. Yeah, Fox News jumped all over it, but here it is.
Boom. So there's your nephew. Now that's Senator Whitford sitting right next to him there in the red shirt as well. So
apparently we need our youngins to go to more football camps.
Yeah, they're a little young.
So so anyway, I decided it would be great to have Senator Whitford on the show now. Senator Whitford is you're actually the Iowa State Chair for the Rubio campaign. Now, here's where sometimes a campaign just gets a little bit of magic. This video came out and became national news. They were running it everywhere. Actually, Bloomberg Politics put a bunch of music to it, and then Morning Joe yesterday morning was showing. They showed a bunch of clips of Rudy and all the Friday Night Lights, and then they capped it off with Rubio.
And then Brody had a response for him yesterday.
Did.
He said next time you're in Iowa, he's going to be ready for him. So,
Rachel, do we have that quick little response of his nephew?
We'll be pulling that up here.
Rubio, when you get back to Iowa, I'll be ready for you, Rubio.
What a cute little guy.
So here's what's exciting. So this video comes out and it's big news. But a poll that came out, the press embargo was lifted on this poll this morning at 6:30 in the morning. There are 3 states. They're the swing states. Now, since 1960, no one has ever won the presidency without winning at least 2 of these 3 states: Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. And Rubio is the only one who beats Hillary Clinton in a head-to-head matchup. Let's look at these numbers. So Florida, Hillary Clinton 39% to Rubio's 40%. Ohio, Hillary 40% to Rubio's 42%. Pennsylvania, Hillary at 40%. Marco Rubio running at 47%. So he literally is beating in all 3 of these swing states. That's a big piece of news for the Rubio campaign. What's the reaction from your folks?
I mean, the football clip is fun, but those are the numbers and the stories we really want, because that's what we've known all along, that Marco is the most electable candidate in the whole Republican field. And not only is he electable, but he has a good conservative record. He has good leadership skills that he's used for the last 10 years, from the Florida House to Speaker of the House. He's a great candidate, and we believe that if we can get him to be the nominee, he's going to win this election. It's a stark contrast between Hillary Clinton and Senator Rubio, and it's one that we feel really good about.
It's amazing that of all the candidates, now obviously I've been at the state fair as many of us have. Jackie's there every day as well. Talking to a lot of the voters, they talk about the unorthodox candidates. Right now, obviously Trump's getting a lot of press, and Carson and even Fiorina. I believe, now again I'll have to check this, but I believe as far as normal politicians, people with a background in politics, this definitely puts Rubio way out ahead of the pack. For instance, if you look at the same poll, if you match up, say, Donald Trump versus Hillary Clinton, now Donald Trump is leading in other polls, but when you match up in these three swing states, from Florida, Ohio, and Pennsylvania, Trump only leads Hillary in Florida. Now, the fact that Donald Trump leads Hillary in Florida still is news, don't get me wrong, but Senator Rubio, all 3. So I thought that was amazing. And when will Senator Rubio be in Iowa next?
Well, we're planning on having him back in early September. September. We're thinking about going to the Iowa State football game. So
there you go.
Maybe we'll have another run-in with Brody at that game. You never know.
I think you should plan on it. You should make it happen because you know it's going to be news. And because with so many candidates on that side, you need something to separate you from the pack. And this has separated him from the pack.
Yeah, and let's face it, in America, we love a comeback story, and Brody wants his comeback story in this clip. So.
There you go.
Well, yeah, it's, you know, Trip Gabriel from New York Times was on my show, Roske on Politics, 3 weeks ago. Yesterday, he wrote a story in New York Times about how Scott Walker, governor of Wisconsin, obviously, seems to be slipping. He was way out in front at the beginning of this race, and now he just seems to be drifting, and people like Marco Rubio are coming out strong. So that's exciting. Anything else you can tell us about the Rubio campaign? Are these numbers going to switch any strategy?
No. We have a long-term strategy that we feel very good about here in Iowa. We continue to build our team. He had a great debate performance a couple weeks ago out in Cleveland, and since that time, we've seen a lot of uptick in the excitement and the energy. And I think the more people we can introduce him to, the better off we're going to do here, because when people meet him, they like him. And so we feel really good about it right now.
Some more national news. Let's cut to one of these quick videos you're going to see more of Sunday. State Fair, Jeb Bush was flipping pork chops with our Governor Brent. Here's what he had to say when I asked him what his favorite state fair food was. What's your favorite food so far at the fair, sir?
I haven't eaten anything other than fried Snickers.
Yeah, how was that?
It was unbelievable.
Oh, I never had one. What was it like?
I can't describe it. It's just like going to heaven.
You off the diet today?
Yeah. Not only does it fried Snickers, melted Snickers, I've never had fried with batter around it, and then you put like gigantic quantities of powdered sugar on top of it.
I was discussing with my friends yesterday over at the pork tent. They were talking about Jeb Bush because he was such a big man, and a lot of videos you see, you don't realize that he is such a tall.
Yeah, and that was a you know, unscripted. We didn't know that would be happening, so we were all kind of piled in there around active grills. I can't believe none of us got third-degree burns. But anyway, lovely visit. Obviously, Governor Branstad standing next to him. You'll see more Sunday on my show. Me chatting with Branstad at that moment, and other chat with him as well. Real quick, I think we have time. Here's me chatting at the fair as well with our Congressman David Young. So, you grew up out there in Van Meter.
Yep, still live there today.
How many times have you been to the state fair?
Well, probably at least once every year since I was born.
So, 22.
Yeah, there you go, 23. I worked here when I was in junior high.
Oh, I didn't know that. What'd you do here?
I worked over at the Coke Plaza stage, which is now the Bill Riley stage.
Oh, sure.
And I was a stagehand for the talent show.
You're kidding me.
And so I set up risers and microphones, and we were paid in root beer tickets and ye old mill tickets. But it was awesome. I mean, and you get a golf cart at the age of 14 back then. It was pretty cool.
You're also going to see on Sunday, there's more of that with Congressman Young. You're going to see my chat with Congressman Dave Loebsack, obviously the most senior Democrat in the state of Iowa, as well as Chairman Jeff Kaufman. That's going to be part one of State Fair Politics. Part two is going to air the following Sunday with Lindsey Graham and Ben Carson and Rick Santorum and George Pataki and a bunch of others. And there might even be a part three because we filmed with the Puppy Jake Foundation. We filmed with No Labels with Senator Jeff Danielson, state senator, and a bunch of other stuff. So it's this Sunday, Roske on Politics, 11:30 on this station, again on KDMI at 5:30, and then posted to Roll Call. Thanks so much to State Senator Jack.
Thank you for coming in. It's cool having you here. Thank you so much.